and welcome to TopX, where we count down the very best that YouTube has to offer. I'm your host Dan, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 anime reviewer and critic channels. For this list, we took a mix of subscriber numbers, views, votes from our users, and our own personal preference to get our final rank. We should also mention that this was a very contentious topic on our suggest page. Man, you guys are crazy about anime. Anyway, that being said, let's power up. Number 10, That Anime Snob. Kicking off our list is someone who pulls no punches. That Anime Snob, also known as Roriko.
Every light novel adaptation is a fucking piece of crap, and yet you plebs keep trying to fool yourselves thinking that they are amazing because the premise sounds cool.
I mentioned that the host pulls no punches, and this is a bit of an understatement. If you can concentrate hard enough to follow his verbal stream, you'll notice that he has some pretty harsh opinions. In fact, this is what he had to say when he got wind of this list.
I am also on that list at rank 34, as well as 44 because the people making these lists are idiots.
This channel is just starting out, so the subscriber numbers or views are really nothing to write home about. But if there's one genre where really strong opinions can really flourish, it's anime. So this subscriber base is definitely growing every day. Number 9, 42's Anime Reviews. Coming up next is the only female reviewer on our list, a demographic that's sorely underrepresented in the anime department. At number 9 is 42's Anime Reviews.
I've been wary as of late to read or watch anything that has vampires, due to the genre being unjustly gayified by those sparkling and weak pansy twats.
Right off the bat, I gotta say that it's a shame that we don't see more from this channel. The host gives very funny and insightful reviews, but unfortunately doesn't upload very often.
Dream sequence with a giant titan peering into a city and the anime just happens to be named Attack on Titan? What could that possibly mean?
Which is why we can't place her any higher up. That said, what she does upload is generally really thoughtful and balanced. Those of you that are worried that she'd disregard anything with fan service because of her gender might be surprised to hear that she has a pretty ambivalent attitude towards that sort of thing.
I don't give a fuck about how much fan service is in anime. In the hypersexualized society that has been created for girls, we are no strangers to seeing grotesquely unrealistic body types.
That's not to say that she's blind to some of the more recent patterns in certain anime. One fun thing she does on her channel is list off the issues with certain series, much in the same style of CinemaSin's Everything Wrong With videos.
Oh my goodness, such beautiful animation! You can see all the amazing details, like they're not faces, and they're not uniforms, and they're not... Oh, wait.
Number 8, Bob Samurai Anime and Movie Reviews. Snappy dressers are pretty common in anime, but for anime reviewers, less so. Well, here to buck that trend is Bob Samurai, also known as Bob.
Death Note is considered to be one of the greatest anime series of all time, but is it really? Let's find out.
Bob's clearly put a lot of effort into the presentation department. His videos are always nicely put together, and so is he, often sporting a suit in some of his more recent videos. Another good thing for newbies is that Bob will often give you a brief introduction to the series he's reviewing.
What's not to like? It's filled with mechs, dragons, magic, and fan service. Lots of fan service.
One thing that I noticed while doing the research is that Bob seems to be acutely aware of the sort of vitriol that surrounds the anime communities, and he tries to actively cool these tensions. While some guys like to really stoke the flames, Bob tries to go the other way. Passion is good, but it's clear that Bob puts a fair amount of effort into keeping things civil. Or at least trying to.
Now, I know with any anime community, there are really dumb arguments, not even just on YouTube. There's the YouTube anime community, on Reddit, Facebook, all these different websites, and even in real life, you have these same stupid arguments all the time.
Number 7, King of Lightning. Next up is an unassuming channel with an ostentatious name, King of Lightning.
Hunter x Hunter episode 131. It's so badass. It's extremely badass.
Christopher, who runs this channel, does pretty bare bones videos as far as production value goes. It's just him in front of his webcam for the most part, sometimes with a picture-in-picture feed of the show he's talking about. However, he's also very thorough, charismatic, and knowledgeable, so there's plenty to like about his reviews. Also, his reactions are hilarious.
Look at this. I win in everything, and everything I say is correct. That just bleeds pugnacious. Like, it bleeds arrogance.
I mentioned that he's very thorough, and this carries over to this sort of style of his reviews. He reviews things episode by episode, breaking down shows like One Piece, Death Parade, Kuroko, and Hunter x Hunter. One other thing to mention about his videos is that the theme or sort of thesis of his video is often emblazoned in red writing at the top, which is a good way to check on his opinion real quick fast. Number 6, Sawyer7 Mage. Sawyer's got another channel that we'd pretty much describe as bare bones. Much like King of Lightning and a few others we'll see today, he also reviews episode by episode. And it's clear from his videos that he's very, very familiar with the content and heavily invested in the characters.
What's interesting, I think, is that this is the first time that we've actually seen Madara with his new look and Kabuto with his new look animated, so that was a really nice treat.
As is the case with a lot of these channels, the host's personality is gonna make or break it for you in terms of enjoyment. Sawyer, for example, uses a more restrained and intelligent tone than some of the other people we'll see today, but still mixes in a fair amount of snarkiness to keep things a bit lighter.
Actually made me appreciate anime a lot more, because even the shittiest of the shittiest anime doesn't even come close to this.
I should also mention that Sawyer also uses his channel as a sort of vlog as well, often discussing issues not entirely related to anime, but things that are bothering him in his day-to-day life. Number 5, Gigok. Next up is another channel that's unfortunately not been updating a lot lately, but still deserves a mention for great content. At number 5 is Kiko.
So, we finally make it to the capital and oh shit! The server's going offline for a few hours. How will thousands of nerds around the world possibly occupy their time? We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
This channel uses what I'd call a super redundant editing style, quickly cutting to relevant images in an effort to squeeze more jokes into the visual side of his videos. His spin on this style is that he often breaks character or changes the tone of his voice to deliver a joke.
Wait. It's f***ing freezing outside with snow, and the girl still chooses to walk around in her short shorts? Makes sense. And now she chooses to put clothes on when she's back indoors. Logic!
This channel has two main pillar shows, Anime Zone and Ava Bridged. Anime Zone is your standard reviews. Well, they're not standard as in boring, but they're just standard reviews for this channel. Ava Bridged is a parody of Evangelion, where Gigok and his buddies revoice the characters in funny ways.
I don't want to do it!
Do it!
I'm not doing it!
Do it!
No!
Just grow a pair and hit me in the face, you little mama's boy!
Yeah.
Did you just slap me?
Which sort of turns out to be a mix of making fun of the show and anime in general, while still paying homage to it. Number 4, Digibro. If you're the type of person that likes to get real theoretical with your anime, this next channel is for you. At number 4 is Digibro.
Anime is a Japanese colloquialism which comes from shortening the word animation. For the most part in Japanese, anime is synonymous with animation of any kind, just as in English, cartoon is virtually synonymous with animation of any kind.
Digibro doesn't just review anime, he also likes to discuss the genre as a whole in his videos. You can see this in his clips like What is Anime and Why is Good Anime Hard to Make, which are in-depth discussions that delve into the how and why, not just the what.
The sad part about all of this is that when anime is specifically geared towards either a specific niche market or to appeal to the broadest market possible, it often ends up being a highly commercialized, often lackluster project whose biggest interest is obviously pushing the series merchandise more than making a work of art in the animated medium.
One thing that's rather unique, or at least unique to this list so far, is that he'll often review a series as a whole. Rather than go into depth about a specific episode, he prefers to talk about his feelings about a series in its entirety.
In spite of its length, I found Hunter x Hunter to be one of the easiest shows to sit through that I've watched, and most of the people I've talked to who watched the show said that they marathoned it in less than a week.
Again, often analyzing the why as well as the what in a very academic fashion. Number 3, Teching 101. Coming up next is a channel that's been described by its creator as one part comedy, one part abject spazness.
But I like to do it a little bit differently, by mixing one half of what I believe to be comedy and the other half of the best way to describe it as abject spazness.
A common adage in business and life in general is stick to what you know. Teching, or Matt if you want to get technical, clearly knows Bleach very well, because that's the main focus of his reviews.
And for those of you curious, I actually did come up with a supervillain name in 3rd grade, and he was called the Black Shroud. His design, I shit you not, was pretty much exactly like Uryu Ishida's outfit while he was in the Soul Society, except it was completely black. Like, he had the belt and the mantle and everything.
This is a channel that really rewards returning viewers. Teching puts a lot of effort into the ongoing storylines and characters that he creates and plays, which may seem confusing at first to newcomers, but in turn turns into delightful jokes for those who remain faithful. Number 2, Douchebag Chocolate. Our runner-up at number 2 is another channel that features brutal honesty and eviscerating opinions. Douchebag Chocolate.
Wow, they even got Hayao Miyazaki in on this website, and whoever this fruitcake is, who is that? I don't know. I don't even care. I see you're hard at work at Evangelion 4.0, you stupid hack.
Demo, the host of this channel, uses that hyper-redundant editing style I described for Gigok. And he does it very well. Those of you who watch a lot of Let's Play or comedy vlog channels should be pretty familiar with this sort of style, but it's still easier to show you what I mean here.
Hey, remember when you were little and your Uncle Tom took you and all your stupid friends to see Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and all that was going through your head the whole time was, wow, the only thing that could make this experience better is if the entire cast was replaced with cute girls and Uncle Tom would start shaking his wiener like that? Yeah, me either.
For someone who's a self-described douchebag, he actually has some of the best writing I've ever encountered on YouTube. In fact, I laughed out loud several times while doing the research for this entry.
Oh, there's a unicorn. Okay, now that the unicorn has been shot with magic, it's gonna sparkle and dissipate up into the sky like they always do with these kind of shows. And whoa! Okay, I think I might like this one.
Most importantly though, in between all the irreverent humor and slick editing, there's actually some really strong analysis going on, making him informative as well as funny. In fact, if he published a bit more consistently, we would have easily placed him at number 1. Before we get to our number 1 and our honorable mentions, we should mention that there was one channel that actually did have more subscribers and views than anyone will see today, but unfortunately generated a lot of negative backlash on our suggest page. We're not really in the business of telling people what not to watch, so if Misty/Chronexia is your thing, by all means check him out. But unfortunately, we couldn't include him on our list. Je suis désolé mon ami, c'est tout ce que je peux faire. Number 1, Grr Kata, aka Glass Reflection. Anime is a very contentious topic, so it makes sense that our number 1 pick would be a rather contentious channel. With these sort of things, you either love it or you really don't love it. And here to exemplify that is our number 1 pick, Grr Kata.
Something that seems to be becoming ever more frequent is the kind of anime that becomes so popular that if you are a member of any anime community on the internet, you cannot escape it.
One thing that's rather refreshing about this channel is a consistency of format. Many critics on YouTube claim to not be reviewers per se, and that is not the case with Kata, who offers you a pros and cons breakdown/verdict at the end of each video.
While sounding like a 9-year-old boy, has me awarding No Game No Life with an overall score of 7.64 out of 10, and a recommendation to stream it rather than blah.
He also scores major points in the production department. While on the surface his style is rather similar to others we've seen today, he's got himself a good microphone, a good camera, and a good mix of B-roll to break up his talking head, and he has a good grasp of editing. That's it for our list. We hope we didn't cause you too much rage. For more informative top 10s, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com and check out our suggest page online to vote on future lists. Plus, you can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.